HHDG.
Peace, HHDG. We are on another episode of HHDG Media, the podcast. And shout out to our crew, our team, our company that makes it possible week in, week out, month after month, year after year. Rock Vader KB, T. Smith, The Mayor, Skelly Top, and myself, Wiki. Go check out, what we have going on that website below, hhdgmedia.com. Got merch on there, hoodies, t-shirts, put up new music, let the world know what's out there, what needs to be heard, what should be heard, shared to others. Just, enjoy some great quality music. Shout out to our Facebook group, Hip Hop Discussion Group, HHDG. We got people from there tuning in right now as well. And before we get into our two guests for tonight, I'd just like to every once in a while mention some new music that came out. So I'm going to give a big shout out to 3 to Godway, coming out of the DMV area. That's Canberra, Sean Bourne, and Let the Dirt Say Amen. They just dropped a dope new album a few days ago called Mount Olympus. Y'all should go check that out. Shout out the whole Humble Monarchs team out there. Helped put that together as well. ADST Music, shout out to you as well. Now, before we get into our two guests for tonight, they're coming from 2 different parts of the world. And as you can see with hip hop music, it's worldwide. It's respected worldwide. And these two show why hip hop continues to thrive in their native areas. We got one coming from an area that reggae is well known for. And we're gonna speak on that and talk about, how hip hop is still, just as important in the island, and how technology and just how fast music has been able to spread with the use of the internet. And with him comes his whole crew that we're going to speak on later on, who dropped a dope album a few years ago, and they continue to put out some very impressive solo work as well. Also, with our other guest coming from out of South America, he's got a whole vibe out down there too. We're going to speak about as well. And with his love of hip hop, also comes his culture being incorporated with his production as well. And he's also a DJ, so he's got the best of both worlds right there. He's worked with artists that are actually intertwined with both of them right now. And we're going to speak on that person as well. And also, there's a few people that did some engineering work on their new album that we're going to speak on, who just so much talent, to put together for their new album. And we're also going to find out how the two of them collaborated, being from 2 different parts of the world. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce, coming out of Kingston, Jamaica, 5 Steez of the council.
Big up. Yes.
Wagwan.
There, yo, Wagwan.
And coming out of Rio de Janeiro in Brazil, we got Sono.
Yo, what's up? ¿Cómo está?
Peace. ¿Cómo estás?
Oh, good, brother. Yo, 5.
Yeah, bro. We're there, yo.
Good. It's great to have the 2 of you on here. And, before we get into this album, I know a lot of people would like to know how the 2 of you met. Because I know it was around the time when 5 Steez, you dropped Love and Art.
Yeah, we connected over Instagram. Like I think I was liking, I found maybe through a hashtag or something like Boom Bap. I don't know. I just found his page, some posts like them, And what I saw was a Jamaican flag somewhere on like the shelf. And I was like, yo, I see a Jamaican flag. And then we just started talking online, and he was like, yo, let's do some work. And he just started sending a lot of beats, and eventually we got around to recording these songs and, really
Yeah,
doing an album. Started out so
yeah.
story, but then it became an album.
And I was listening a lot Love and Art 5C's album too. So when we talked, I already knew like his job too, because I was being interested in Jamaican culture. Like I was before producing beats and rap music. I was playing like in a Jamaican reggae sound system here in Brazil. So it was always linked. So it was really dope when I knew that he was a Jamaican, and we keep talking, and we start exchanging some beats and ideas, and the rest is the story, you know.
Wow.
Yeah, that's it.
That's dope.
Yeah, I found it interesting he was coming from Brazil as well, because in Jamaica we have a certain love for Brazil because we play football out here. People love football, and naturally they look towards Brazil and Pele.
Yeah.
So there's always this affinity for Brazil, and I found it interesting that he had already been to Jamaica. So I was like, yo, this is a guy. He's been out here, familiar with the culture. It's just that we never got to connect at that time. He wouldn't have known about the hip hop scene. It's the same thing that you and I were just talking about, where I said it's underrepresented, but we have the community here, so people don't always know about it. And it's just good when we get to connect with other people, and we show that hip hop is everywhere, Brazil and Jamaica, you see me?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's great. And speaking on your whole crew, the council, Nomad Carlos, Instinct, the Sickest Drama,
Mm-hmm.
Tell us how hip hop, just in general, brought y'all together.
Well, I think that's what connect everybody, I mean, even up to today, like we literally have a WhatsApp group where the whole day we're arguing about different things related to hip hop, from Kanye to Biggie to whatever, some days we're talking about Wu-Tang, some days we're talking about our music. That's what it's been about for over a decade, the entire time we've known each other. Like, I've known Nomad Carlos for most of my life, since I'm 12, thereabouts, you understand? So we've always bonded and spoken about hip hop, and then even with TSD and Instinct, they went to high school together as well, so they're going back from their teenage years. And then we all ended up connecting at a place called Gambling House Recording Studio, which was like the mecca for hip hop in Jamaica. And that's where we spent a lot of time. So that place had been around from, I know I started going there maybe 2004. And it wasn't until maybe 2017 or 2018 the place closed, but we were running off the studio in the last few years, and that's where we did Nothing Else Matters, which is the album that you heard from us, put out in 2017.
Yeah. That's the album that caught my attention.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, man.
And for Sono, it was your album together with Bad Effects that caught my attention.
Yeah. Also, Bad Effects is a Jamaican MC too. He was born in Jamaica too, so it's all connected,
Yeah.
Then we have a featuring in the Babylon Burning track in
Exactly.
in K2 the album too. So I'll link it.
Yeah, that was even part of what I found interesting too. I forgot to mention that he had that collaboration with Bad Effects. You know what I mean? So it was natural for us to say, yo, what we're doing here, it makes perfect sense, because he's already have that album. Let's just do another album where it's another Jamaican MC. We might as well have a collab, you know what I mean? and that's a favorite for some people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And let's while we talking about that connection, let's talk about how before it was called hip hop, how the reggae had that, that brought everything together to
Yeah.
formally help with the creation of hip hop.
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean that is something that I think if you're a real hip hop head, if you've been following the culture, you know the history, you understand that hip hop started with the sound system culture or DJ Cool Herc. He was doing, whether it was the first party or not, there might have been other people doing things and there were other contributors, like Africa Bambata, etc. Grandmaster Flash, but DJ Cool Herc himself was a Jamaican, came from the island, went to the Bronx, practicing something that he understood and learned, right here in Jamaica, and interpreted it in a way and played music for these people. And that's kind of what hip hop sprung from, So there's a major Jamaican influence in terms of Jamaicans themselves and the descendants of Jamaicans playing a major part in the creation of it, and also using elements that they had from our own culture, which is the sound system culture. That's a key thing, I think, more so than the chanting and the DJing. In terms of the rapping, there's definitely a parallel, but I think just from my own research and what I've seen, early rappers don't really refer to reggae and dancehall as being their source of inspiration. We talk about like the DJ Hollywood or what Coppola Rock will be saying or whoever. Any of these early pioneers, if you ask them where they got the stuff from, it wasn't necessarily dancehall or whatever. There are other examples of rapping in African American culture,
Yeah.
But definitely the sound system culture and Jamaicans play a major part in hip hop, and that's why out here we kind of have the slang where we say first coast, just to refer to the scene and the community, and just kind of affirm that, you have East Coast, West Coast, etc. But we kind of provide a scene, and we kind of start us in a way, not to take it from the Bronx or anything, but just that's source of pride. You know what I mean?
And you met DJ Cool Herc.
Exactly, yeah. Because DJ
Yeah.
Cooper came to Jamaica a couple of years ago as well for the Jamaica Music Conference, and we got to meet and chat
Nice.
on a few occasions, So that was like things coming full circle,
Yeah.
It's almost like we spoke it into being, and he appreciated this concept of first course and agreed with it, So it was a good energy, you know what I mean? So big up DJ Cool Herc. And big up Cindy
Absolutely.
as well. Yeah, big up Cindy every time too. You know what I'm saying? Because she play a major role. Quiet as kept, even though she don't get a respect like that, she play a major role in his career and just even the role, everything that was going on with hip hop in the early days. But she was a manager for him, and really was her birthday party. Her back to school party in the first one that they held. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, big up Cindy as well.
Yeah. Now how are the sound systems down there right now?
The funny thing is, right now there's because of COVID, entertainment is not quite the same, but the street dances in certain places are still being held, regardless. Even throughout the restrictions. But things are not like they used to be in terms of sound system culture in Jamaica.
Yeah.
It's not the same big box, people playing vinyl. You have a DJ, a chant on the mic. It's more people are playing off of CDJs or MP3s. It's not that big sound thing. It's the powered boxes at an event. A lot of elements of the culture are not really there. So it's not thriving as much, but there's certain places and pockets and specific events that say, yo, it's a sound system event. And they try to work with sound systems. But aside from that, it's really a lot of individual DJs that playing at events, stuff like that. But Sono can tell you about his sound system experience, because that's what part of, you know.
There you go.
we we have a sound system here, like 15 years ago, called Jurassic Sound System. And in these, like, mm, 15, 10 years ago, there was like in some weekends, like five sound system parties here in Brazil, you know.
Wow.
So the culture was really hot, and there was like you could go to a sound system every each day of the week. There was a party going on here in São Paulo, you know. But nowadays, it's of course because of COVID, there is a lot of restriction. But the parties, some parties keep going on in the streets, in open areas. But my first love from the music was the reggae music, and uh, I never thought that I would be producing. I always loved the reggae, but my first rap, but my first work in the music was with reggae, and I never would imagine that I would be doing beats. Like I started doing beats like 10 years ago. So
Yeah.
when I started doing working with the sound system, I never thought that I would start making rap beats. That was something I really wanted to do since I was a teenager, but I couldn't figure out how I tried to download Fruit Loops and start, but I couldn't proceed and start to think. So I get better with the machines. But sound system in Jamaica is uh, a big part in my life, and it was really good days. Nowadays, the sound system keep going on with the friends, Alex and Greg, but I am really focused on the rap music right now.
That's great. Wow. I had no idea that sound systems were like that down there.
Yeah, here in São Paulo, it was like everywhere. It was really nice era.
And that's what I find interesting about cultures like hip hop and reggae, because when I hear Sono, like I've seen Sono send pictures and telling me about certain things, and I'm just thinking that here is people so far away that have an appreciation for what we
Yeah.
have out here, and we're not necessarily doing it like that out here, but they're onto it like that. And it's a similar thing in hip hop where you might say, you know, hip hop has lost its way in the US, or, you know, in the mainstream, definitely. And you go in other places in the world and you realize they're really in touch with not
Yeah.
just hip hop as this commodity, but the culture itself.
Yeah.
You know what I
They
mean?
they fully embrace it.
And I think it showed the power of a reggae and the power of hip hop. You know,
Yeah.
very similar, different genres, but still very similar and intertwined. You know what I mean?
For real.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I love to hear stories like this from other countries and continents. Find out how much they fully embrace it, and it's just I love hearing their stories.
Yeah, yeah, man, definitely, definitely.
Now you speaking on Fruity Loop, so let's talk about the production you use. You have, was it an Akai 950?
Yes, the Akai 950 and the SP 1200
Mm,
was like the main samples that I use these days. And from Keytude, I guess just one beat was made with the MPC 60. I guess
mhm,
it was like out of my life beat was made in a MPC 50, because but I already sold it. So now my workflow is with these two legendary machines, like samplers like SP12 100 and the KS 950. And this machine was something like I always dreamed to have it.
Okay.
Because I saw videos of the producers working on it in the 90s. So it's real nice. You guys were saying about the hip hop culture abroad in other countries, because is we like to try to make it like it how it was in the 90s, like the true, I don't know,
True school.
truth in there, but we interested in knowing what kind of machines Premiere was using, Pete Rock was using. So this information with the internet helped a lot, and in my production helped a lot too, because we can contact and talk with friends that have the same machine from
Right.
Russia, the same machine from Germany. So it is real nice, man. It's like a small community in a small community.
Did you start out using the SP303?
Yes, I started using my first sample was the MPC 500, the small one. But uh, I tried to do some beats there. But for me was a little bit complicated because it was my first sample, and how it is more compact. You need to like to hold a button and push another, and I was getting a little bit lost with it. But when I guess the SP303, that was more easy, don't have too much functions, that was there. Then I proceed to that. I really started making some beats.
And as Sono was speaking on his influences, Five
Yeah.
Steez, how about your influences with the MC?
Wow, that's many. That's many, and I would say I'm still being influenced to this day by anything that inspire me or I think is dope. But coming up, I would definitely say to kind of start out in terms of my hip hop journey, I would say that Wu Tang album, Wu Tang Forever, that changed my life because I heard that at like 10 years old. You understand? So that, and then Rakim's 18th letter, hearing that, and then KRS One's I Got Next. So then hearing that in 97, 98 at that age, that just sparks something in my mind where later in my teens, it was Common and Talib Kweli, Dead Prez, Wu Tang, as I mentioned, Nas, Jay Z, Big Pun, Big L, Pac, Biggie, So
Yeah, yeah.
it was some of those names that I was listening to and being influenced by. AZ, did I mention Carmega? So those were some that I was listening to at a certain period coming up, learning how to MC. But as I said, I've been influenced all throughout the eras, So anybody you can think of right now, like I mentioned earlier, I think I mentioned Kanye. I was watching the Kanye documentary,
Yeah, it's
and
very real dope, real dope.
I like it,
Yes.
especially the first two episodes, especially I find inspiring.
Yeah,
You know, and at that time, especially when he was on Rockefeller, I was very excited about Kanye and the music he was making because I was a Rockefeller fan. I was a Jay Z fan. I appreciated Beanie Siegel and Freeway. I was throwing up the rock, you know, and and then he was bringing that same raucous with the most Def and the talent quality common, and I was just like, whoa,
Yeah.
conscious or backpack or a certain type of hip hop is no on Rockefeller. Not to say that they weren't making hip hop or they weren't MCs, but a certain type of spirit and energy that wasn't necessarily in the mainstream on MTV was now coming back, and
Yeah.
something that I could more relate to or identify with, as well as other people, which is why it became what it became. But influenced by a lot of stuff. Me and the guys council were talking about Griselda for a while, you know. So those are some guys underground that have stormed the place, you know. And we have the God Fahim on our
Yeah.
album on Quietude,
Yeah,
you know, and he was
Mhm.
one of the early Griselda members that pioneered this entire dumping and having underground artists pumping out album every
Music.
year.
Nothing.
You know what I'm saying? He's one of the biggest pioneers of that. So, you know, I'm influenced by a lot of people that I'm observing, but mainstream, top of the top down to the underground that we hear are competing in and doing our music in. Yeah, man.
Yeah. Yeah. And like you just mentioned, the guy Fahim was on the first album. How,
Yes.
yeah, how did how did the two of you link up?
All right. Well, it's simple. I'll just tell you. I mean, I think we ended up hearing his music. I know Instincts in particular was a big God Fahim fan, and we respected what he was doing. Reached out for a collab, and he liked what he heard from us, and he just came through, and that's what the record happened, you know. So it was just
Nice.
all spent like that. And I think what happened with the Sono record now is my own way happened because I think Sono sent us the beat at about the same time,
yeah,
right? And I think I feel like I messaged Sono back like a few days after and said, "Yo, I like this beat. I'm going to do something."
yeah.
And he
For
came
real.
back the next day like, "Yo, bro, I sent it to Fahim as well, and Fahim is doing something with it." So I was like, "Yo, but we did something with Fahim before. Ask him
Yeah,
if it'd be cool with that with a song with me and him." And I think Fahim sounded alright with it, and he did his verse, he sent it back, and I just did mine right after. And I felt like, let me just pick up. You know, he had a
Mm.
certain flow and was saying certain things, and it was that same mindset as me. So I was just there doing doing some ad libs, and then just coming with my verse. You know, whoa, Fahim, stay on the beam. You know, so yeah,
it's crazy the coincidences like that happen. I sent the beats to Fahim, and
Hmm.
he already said, "Oh, all right, I will write on it." And Five say, "Oh, I want this beat too." Uh, but I guess I sent first to Five, but he didn't check the message in the WhatsApp. Something like that.
yeah,
And he said, "Oh, we worked with Fahim too." So it's crazy the coincidence. So I say,
yeah,
"Oh,
Yeah.
let's do one track with both of us." So
yeah,
and Fahim just, "Oh, yo, let's do it." So and it was born the track.
Wow.
But I didn't know that Five had a work with Fahim too. So it was the coincidences was uh, starting to grow. Then when we were talking. And so lots of coincidence in this album. For
That's amazing.
yeah,
yeah.
man.
I don't
Mm.
believe this coincidence is
Yeah,
magic.
man.
You know,
Yeah,
when these things happen, it just show you that things supposed to happen that way, and that's sometimes how things come out the right way or
yeah,
your own way, our own way.
Yeah.
yeah. For real.
Wow. Wow. And for this album, you had a very talented um, musician who I've actually listened to, Thiago Frugoli,
Yeah,
who
man.
mixed and mastered it. Yeah, and
And
he also worked on the Together album with Bad Effects.
yes, and Thiago Frugoli is he so nowadays he doing more beats, but was a underground hip hop MC too. So I knew him from this era. I really liked his job emceeing,
Hmm.
and we got to be friends and talk about the beats. Nowadays, he work more on the beats, and he has like a jazz. jazz album that went out in Fresh Select is real nice.
Yeah, I remember
Thiago
that.
is
Yeah.
real talented. Um, and I started only doing beats and never worked with some MCs. I guess my first album with an MC was with Bad Effects. So I didn't know how to mix the voices well because I never worked with MC's voices. It was just so. Thiago was my the main guy that I would say, oh, if someone have to mix it and master it, the album got to be him because he likes what I like and he knows how to do it. So both albums, he made it, and for me, it's different than asking to a guy that works with electronic music or trap music to mix your album or master it. It's very easy when the engineer, knows and like the same sound that you trying to bring it.
Yeah. So it just becomes more organic with the two of you.
Yeah, yeah. Big up Thiago every time.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
Yes,
Thiago
indeed.
gave me a different sound, and I appreciated that, So I think quietude, not just because I'm working with Sono for the first time, but then Thiago mixing and mastering it just gave it a sound that was different from everything else that I've had.
Yeah, man.
Some of the things that I've put up before, I mixed it, for example, Love and Art, for example. I mixed those songs,
Oh,
and then
yeah.
it was my brother McConan that did the mastering. McConan also did the mastering on Heat Rocks 2.0, as well as Nothing Else Matters, the council album. So he's someone that I still work with. But then to have Tiago, doing Quietude, it just gave everything a different sonic
Sound.
feel.
Yeah. And
You know,
he is really professional. Uh, and like a easygoing guy. Like you ask something, oh, can you change here? And it's really easy to work with him.
yeah. Yeah, and I remember that too. I remember liking most of the mixes and not having much feedback. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
man.
good to go from the
Yeah,
start. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. One of my favorite projects that Tiago released was Progressivo.
yeah, man. Yeah, it's real dope. With his MC name was Rump here,
Oh,
and in my first vinyl called Ultra Fita, and I asked him like, "Oh man, it's my first album, my first vinyl. I need you to rhyme on my beats." And he said, "Oh, okay." It's like for you, I can do it. And so I put it in the first track of the album because means a lot to me have him rhyming on my beat too.
mad.
Yeah, man. And while we still talking about others that helped make this really dope album Quiet to come together, we got to speak about some of the other features on there. You have two members of the council on there.
Facts. Yeah. Yeah, Operating work features the sickest drama and Nomad Killers, both from the Code for the Gods. And that was actually the first song that I did for Quietude. And it was just me literally, all right, I'm going to write a verse to this beat. Did the verse, knock it out, and just sent it to the guys, and they did what they did. And I think that's how we do a lot of stuff. Like one man do a verse, say, "Oh, this is what I have," and then it's like a relay. We're doing it like the 4x100 female. We're winning the gold in the Olympics. That's how we're doing it when we when we're doing this. We're doing it like Usain Bolt and other athletes. So we're just passing the baton, and everybody just comes with their verse and their energy. So that's a favorite song for some. you know, and I like the bars that we speak there. Yeah, man.
Yeah, and this beat in particular was sampled from a reggae record. I can't remember exactly what group was sampled. I sampled, but it was the label was Impact, Impact, and it was a reggae like the. And I sent to five, and I remember like in not many days he returned and everyone killed the track. You know, it's crazy. It's one of my favorites of the album because I really like that beat.
Right.
It was like fun. I started going to this way. It's more approach what I'm trying to do these days. You know, this beat from the Pot Smokers. Operation Work. Sorry. The pot smoker was our demo name, you know.
Yeah,
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 Ah,
for real.
yeah. Just called pot smokers.
Pot
Yeah.
smokers. Yeah, man. I was trying to find the name of the sample here. I will, if I found it, I will try
Yo,
it.
I didn't remember that.
okay.
Yeah, man, I remember that.
Yeah, that was a good song. That was yeah.
And one of the other features on there is Shanique Marie.
Yeah, yeah, Be Live. Yeah, Shanique Marie came through and to me made that song what it is, and I just felt it was so uplifting and inspirational, and I just loved the vibe. When I wrote it, I was like, "Yo, all right, boom! I need Shanique for the hook." I thought she would be the right person to bring the vibe that I needed, and
Hmm.
the right voice, and I knew it was going to close the album. And
Yeah,
when,
man.
when everything finished, I was like, "Yeah, this." I felt like it should be this a single and a video. So that's what we ended up doing.
There you go.
Yeah.
And there is something like the female voice in this type of 90s beats, you know, it like glues together, you know, and
Yeah.
Shanique Marie just she made like the level was here and she made like here, you know, it was high level, you know. I was imagining one thing and she came and smashed it, you know.
Most deaf.
Yeah,
Yeah, man. Big up Shanique.
Yep.
Anyway, she there.
I'm
Yes, indeed.
Yes, I.
And we, as we speak on the features, and we speak of the vibe of the album, it has a calmness to it, and it also has an approach to just how life can be. It doesn't have to always be chaotic. And you spoke on some relevant things on the Babylon 5 track.
Mm.
But let's go further and tell us why you chose that name and how it relates to part of Sono's country.
Oh, Babylon Burning. Call it that because when I wrote that verse, it was around the time of the George Floyd protests that were happening in the U.S. And it kind of spread where there was a similar sentiment in the UK, and around the world. So it wasn't just America and the UK, but people in Jamaica were paying attention,
Hmm.
and it made me give thought to some of the things that we were seeing happening there, but also our own situation here in Jamaica, and part of what the feeling was among some people. I think I even saw someone tweet it or say something like Babylon is burning or Babylon is falling. In terms of this power structure that has existed for a long time, and people now seeing it more and more and demanding accountability or wanting things to fall and things to change and whatever. I mean, we still have a very far way to go and we have a lot against us. But that was a sentiment or a feeling at that time, and that's why I named the song that. You know what I mean? Babylon is burning. You know, so the present day system that we have, it is falling and it's crumbling, and people no longer believe in it, and it's no longer working for them. Yeah.
There you go. And then speak on the album name, Quietude.
Quietude. So quietude, as I say, I found the word or saw it reading somewhere, and immediately it's like you know what it means. You know, like I'm someone that I write, so I know I guess I use English a lot. You know what I mean? So immediately I know what the word means, but I've never seen it much. So I'm like, okay, I need to Google it. Does it mean exactly what I think it means? Yes, it does. All right. But then I saw it was a place in Brazil as well. And I'm here working on this album with a producer from Brazil, thinking about this word, thinking, hey, it fits the vibe, or it could work as a title. And just like we're talking about coincidence, it's just a coincidence that just show me, okay, this is a name that makes sense. And the fact that people feel that way about it when they hear the album, just it kind of confirm it for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a Portuguese word here, so people can figure it like in English and here too, you know.
Yeah, that's dope. Quietude.
Yeah, man.
Mm.
Here we say like quietude.
Quietude. Okay.
Oh, Ketuji.
Yeah, man.
Oh, whoa. Yo, it's the first you telling me that.
For real. And I live like in near São Paulo, so it's like more how I'd say like interior, like more small city, and we always talk the T of the words here more pronounced, like quietude. You know, it's like more country, a little bit countryside of São Paulo. You know that we have. I forgot how to say it in English, the word like, but we talk more pronounced with the T's. You know, so it's like quietude, quietude, quietude,
Ketude.
quietude, quietude.
Tude?
Yeah, man.
Ketude.
Yes.
Tude. Yeah.
Okay.
Wow, that's nice. So that's one of the things I need to do. I need to learn Portuguese. So when I go over there, I'm not lost.
And the idea we're talking when we're doing the beat was to bring five here to Brazil. We do some shows and everything, and I would go back to Jamaica too to do some stuff too. But the COVID came and smashed our everything. You know?
Yeah.
But we need to do we still need to do this.
Yeah.
I know it will be real dope, you know.
And we're putting back the foundation for the live scene, because even telling Sono a few days ago we're going to have a new event, a new regular hip hop event happening out here in Kingston, working on right now. So we're trying to put back that foundation so that this same area that we had where I can be in Brazil and we're doing something together, and then he's here back in Jamaica and we're doing something together.
Right.
We're the foundation for that. So let's see what happens next year. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Mm. And who came up with the concept of the artwork that was done by Jay?
Was five.
That was five. Okay.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. I would say it was him. It was Jay that did it.
Yeah.
I had some ideas that I threw to him. He said, "Show me some pictures." He did. I'm rocking the T-shirt right now, so I'll just see if I can. You know what I mean? Yeah. So he did an illustration. As you see, he did this drawing. He painted me really. And then he can probably better describe how he did what he did, but then he would turn it digital. You know what I mean? He threw on the throw on the beat machine as well. You know, and there's other things going on if you pay attention to what's happening in the artwork. But that was him, you know, and he came up with this entire design. I liked it.
Yeah.
He painted the quietude itself, so even the font is not just a font; it's something he painted.
Yeah, man.
Oh,
So
nice.
give it a nice little look and our own feel. So quietude or ketuje, you know,
Yeah, man.
There you go. Ketuje.
it's his whole thing, you know. So we have
Mhm.
ketuje.
With the and you have the boom box in the background.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, you know, 'cause the music is a part of the quietude and
Vice too.
you know, a part of that vibe and that calm. And it's my expression, our expression. You know, music is us.
Cool, cool. I want to give a shout out to Puma from Brazil who's checking in.
Yeah, man.
Man,
Puma is the MC with my group here. He's from Rio de Janeiro, and we
Yeah.
have a group called Febre 90S. Like in English, is like Fever 90 Fever, you know. But and he is the MC. Shout out Puma every time. Big up, brother.
big up Puma. Oh,
Yeah,
Definitely. He just had an album release party. Was that last month? But Todo Mundo Ana also.
yeah, man. Yeah, we started like we we did our group in the COVID, so we didn't have any shows, you know. So our first show was in January. So it was really nice to see how the people was reacting with our track that we released it in the COVID time, you know. So there was a lot of energy, and then after that we could figure how was the music in the streets, you know, because everyone was listening in their house. And but when we start to do some shows, it was really really nice.
That's great.
crazy. I saw the footage. Crazy.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
gonna say that. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Seeing that made me say, yo, we need to start getting something happening here again. Like, yeah.
Yeah,
So now that the place is opening up again and there's less restrictions, we're laying the plans so
Slowly
that
come back.
in a
Yeah.
few weeks starting back.
Yeah, it'll definitely be great to see, y'all come together and do shows again.
yeah.
And then a Nomad Carlos, is he still up in New York?
He is in actually New Jersey, but he works in New York.
Okay.
So let me
Yeah.
see,
Same
back
area,
in-
yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, we're talking in the WhatsApp group earlier just about everything from music to mental illness,
Yeah.
mental health. So,
Cool,
yeah,
cool.
yeah.
Now Sono, I seen your hip hop collection on VHS.
Yeah,
What's one of your favorites?
man. Oh man, I can. Um, as I am a graffiti artist, so my favorite VHS is like graffiti movies, like the classic ones, like Star Wars.
Wild Style.
No, yeah, man. For me, it's like I started getting some. I don't collect like VHS, but I some like these. I say, oh, I need to have this one in
Hmm.
just I don't have even a place to play it, you know. But I say, oh, I need to have this one because me it's like something you see that changes your life, you know. When I
Right.
saw it like Star Wars, I say, oh, yo, these guys were doing like this type of art like in the 80s. It's real crazy, man, you know. Nowadays have so much stuff to buy to do graffiti, you know, like types of caps, large one, fat caps, you know. And when they started, it was the stock cap of the can, you know.
Yeah.
So and you saw the real style, you know. So for me, it's like My favorite one isn't a show, a rap VHS. It's like the graffiti one, Style Wars.
Nice, nice. Yeah, and you speaking on the caps, that showed back then how much skill the graffiti arts really had.
Yeah, man, with nothing, like with
Yeah.
just the can that have in the supermarket. So
Hmm.
and people try if you see some like Dondi, I don't know how you say
Yeah.
in
You
English,
said it.
Dondi,
Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, they say they trying to recreate the classic wall, the train, but you see that they can. It's like they can't do it. They're mad talent in this the start of the graffiti.
Yeah. Yeah. Every once in a while now in New York City, I see a few trains that they actually tried to do the whole trains.
Yeah, man. People are starting to do that again, right?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, how's the graffiti scene down in Brazil? Because I know I'm on IG a lot looking at graffiti from around the world, and I know
Yeah.
that Brazil is one of the main places that you see a lot of great work at.
Um, Here in Brazil, in São Paulo, we have the pichação. It's like something. It's like what you guys say, like graffiti in the USA, like the illegal stuff, the throw ups. It's here. The pichação is like the illegal stuff here. So here we have this unique style in São Paulo, um, that was it's only here in the world have this kind of letters.
Mm.
And so graffiti here started more, well, when people saw it from the USA, and like from the videos too. But we have mad talent here, that Os Gêmeos, that's well known worldwide. There's a lot of big artists here in Brazil that lives traveling from the to countries just to paint here. So in São Paulo, it's like, um, it's crazy when we say we're trying to. Today, with an example, today we say, oh, I will try to make a wall in that street on Saturday. The wall is clean, let's do that. And in São Paulo, it's crazy that when you go there to make it, someone already did it, or you came there and you saw someone doing the time you came. So it's like you can. There is a lot of graffiti artists here. You can't like let for I will do it later because you will miss the spot. There is a lot of people doing graffiti here. And
Mm.
pichação, if you don't know, I will send you some stuff to check it out, because it's
Yeah,
amazing.
definitely.
Some foreign people came here trying to looking for the graffiti scene, but when they came here and saw the pichação scene, they got, oh man, this is crazy, because it's really unique from São Paulo.
That's great. Oh, oh. And that's great. To find out scenes like that. That's why I'm usually on IG, like looking
Yeah.
all over to see what's out there. But that's great. And for Five C's, you see any artists out there, doing their thing, putting up murals?
Well, it's what's interesting is we don't really have necessarily hip hop style graffiti that much, but
Mhm.
Jamaica, we have our own unique art. For example, like the dancehall signs, where there's a unique lettering. So that's something that
Mhm.
used to exist in a time. Some people still might use that style for their flyer or for a poster that they're doing, but it's
Yeah.
not what it used to be, where it was really a culture at a certain time, you know what I mean, where everything was looking like that. But that exists, you know what I mean? And right now, in terms of street art, there's almost like a renaissance happening where in downtown Kingston, there's a lot of murals, or a lot of street murals right now. And
Ah.
you can like dozens. You know what I mean? So there's been a push lately by one particular organization named Kingston Creative, but there are other people who have been either doing murals in the area or other places, like whether business or whatever. Say, hey, I see this thing happening. Let's do a mural or some form of street art or something on a wall. So
Yeah.
it's not really graffiti, but all sorts of great art. You know what I mean? And downtown right now, Kingston is certain pockets where they're doing it. There's a lot of great stuff happening, and I can probably send you some videos and some pictures. In fact,
Yeah.
I will send
Definitely.
you as soon as the interview ends. I'll send you an IG page.
Definitely. I appreciate that. Cool. Cool. Sono, I've been reading. I don't know if you can see that. The new
Yeah.
Dilla book. Now I know that you personally have some J Dilla records from his personal collection that you got through an auction.
Yeah, man. Uh, there was his family, his the I guess it's her mother's foundation. I can't remember quite well. Put some LPs, some records on the eBay and to raise some money, and it was crazy because it came with a paper. I have here. You want me to show you?
Yeah.
Yeah, let me find here. Just a second.
Okay. Yeah, when I found that out, I was like, wow.
Yeah, I didn't even know that. Yo, you know, I'll wait till he gets back for me to say. You know.
Okay.
Yeah.
While he comes back, just tell us a little bit about what you currently working on.
Right now, all right. So we mentioned Jay, who does the artwork here for Quietude, the album cover. It was someone else who actually did the artwork for Just Vibe. I'll let Sono pronounce that name in case I I have it mistaken. But Jay is someone who not just does artwork, but he also makes beats. So I have a few singles that I think I'll be dropping in some weeks, maybe a month, or less than 2 months for sure. And
Okay.
they'll be produced by him. We might be doing, more. Just like how me and Sono started with an EP, it became an album. Who knows what me and Jay will end up doing, or Jay Sounds as he produces under. So I have a couple tracks will drop, maybe some more, and yeah.
Yeah,
Also, yeah. Let's sort of show this. Let's get into this though. Yeah.
like this is the I got like two, in fact. This is the Bobby Humphrey. It was for from his collection, and it came like with a certificate,
Yeah.
for authenticity in
Yeah.
this. So I say,
And
oh,
like, wow.
I need to have this, because I like this stuff, like I said, the VJS of Style Wars, like hip hop memorabilia, So I
Yeah.
say, oh, I need to get this record because I don't even want to play it. I want it, but to put it in the wall,
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
and that's what I will do with this record. I will put the record and the certificates, So they put some records on eBay, and it was like crazy because everyone was like, it was an action. I said, um, dollar from my money, Brazilian reais is like 5 times,
Oh.
So I say, oh, I never could would get one. But I don't know why these some records in particular didn't went too expensive. You know, I guess it wasn't divulgated to a lot of people. It was some hip hop heads that were really fanatic about it, but it could have been very expensive. Yeah, I didn't pay very expensive for that, so I was really happy when I get it. You know, and I bought the book, but it didn't arrive yet because it takes
Okay.
some time to come to Brazil. But I'm looking forward to read it. People say
Yeah.
it's real nice.
Yeah. I'm about a quarter into it so far, and it's really
Yeah,
good.
yeah, man.
It's really great how Dan intertwined the creation and history of Detroit.
Yeah,
He
man.
speaks on, music history, music theory, and then intertwine how the Yancey family came to be in Detroit and with the music. It's just coming together. It's very well written.
Or
That's nice. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to read, man.
yeah, I'm missing out because I haven't ordered it as yet. But I've been seeing and hearing nothing but good things. So it's one of the books that I plan to add to my collection because I realized lately I actually like that they are hip hop books. You know that
Yes.
they're
Hmm.
books about rappers, producers, things that happen in hip hop or written
Hmm.
by hip hop artists. Even like Rayquan book, I want to get that. You know what I mean? Like
Yes. Hmm.
Yeah,
I read Prodigy's HNIC crime novella the other day. I
Yeah,
read
that's a good one.
the Nipsey book that Rob Kenner wrote. I read that some months ago. You know what I mean? I really like the Rakim book. You know. So
Hmm.
I like what's up. So I need to get Dilla time. You know what I mean? I'm not a
Yeah.
producer, but I feel like Dilla made so many important beats and
Yeah.
a great piece. So it's a great book. I need to read it.
and for me, it's like real nice to read about things that we love. You know, it's like
Yeah,
different because
Absolutely. Yeah.
my English is not very good to talk, but I can read well. So for me to try to read an English book about specific stuff that I don't. But when it's hip hop, I try to I get more excited to read it. You know, there's some words that I don't know. I look at in Google. You know, it's more it's very nice to read books about hip hop, about J Dilla, about the productions. So I try to get all the books that came about this specific hip hop in rap music. No, the Rakim one I didn't get it, but I'm looking forward to.
yo, I tell Sono he keeps saying his English is not good, but I mean I've collaborated with other people around the world, and I find just the
Hmm.
fact that me and him have been able to do an album and put it out, and we're here doing an interview for over an hour. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
man.
And
Big up.
English is fine. You're managing with us. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
yeah,
That's dope, man.
it's great.
you're doing better here than I would be doing in Brazil right now.
For real, for
Yeah.
real. For real, for real.
Now, while Sona was looking for the record and the certificate,
Yeah, man.
Five Steez, you were talking about Jay also doing his
Yeah,
other work.
yeah. I think I might have mentioned it to Sono before. We're actually dropping. Me and Jay have a couple singles we're going to drop maybe next month. And we
Big
may
up.
be doing some more work, but we're going to drop a few singles soon. So there be that, and there's a trilogy album that you heard from Council that we put out on the Equinox music label.
Mm.
And one of the producers on that was Sun Ra. So me and Sun Ra have been cooking up. And we have EP album. I'm not sure what we're calling it yet. It could be an album. And I think we're almost done. So that could be out sometime this year. I'm not sure what time yet. So a few singles soon, and there's an album coming at some point. You know, yeah.
There you go. Cool, cool.
But in the meantime,
Yeah, man.
Hey, Tuesday.
Yeah,
catch Tuesday.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. And you know, it's great talking with you and seeing how reggae formed that bond with the two of you, the same way it
yeah.
did with the creation of hip hop. You know, I really appreciate that. But before we go, I want you to give the people the history of your names.
All right. I'll let Sono go first.
Um, Sono is like my um, is like a nickname I have since I was 10 years. It means like people that sleeps a lot, you know, like a sleeper, something like yeah.
Yeah,
So
because also how
Sono,
you sleep.
yeah. That time I was sleeping too much, and the other kids from my neighborhood was knocking on my house, and my mother was like, "Yo, he's sleeping. He's sleeping. He can." So when I came out to play, the people was like, "Yo, yeah, the sleeper guy, the sleeper." You know, the so it was Sono. It's my nickname since the 10 years old, and TWS. It's my it's a translate of my graffiti crew, que call it Os Meia de Lã, que in English means the wool socks, and TWS came with this. So this is the nickname, and I have it for there are close friends that even don't know my name, you know. When I say, "Oh, Marcelo is here," they say, "Who?" You know. So people know me from Sono from since I was a kid.
All right. Well, for me, Five C's started out as 5 star. I think that's how I have to explain it. So 5 star, being the top of the line. You have 5 star restaurants. You have a 5 star hotel. You have a 5 star general. You know what I mean? So that was a name. And eventually I realized there's a British pop group named 5 Star. I don't know if a lot of people know about them. We have Jackson 5, and then in the UK you had 5 Star. So I realized, all right, I cannot be named 5 Star. So other people are already calling me Steez and Steezy. We're talking about Kanye earlier, and people calling Yeezy. So people are already calling me Steezy and Steez. And Steez, style, my Steez, and I'm a fan of Method Man, Gangstar, etc. It just felt like it made sense. And I always felt like I was kind of like a diverse, versatile MC. I can give topics, I can battle, I can do X, Y, rate. So I felt like, all right, 5 Steez, multiple styles. And 5 Steez became my name since maybe 2009, 2010. And definitely by 2010, I was putting out music as 5 Steez. So that's been my name for a good while. You know what I mean? So that's a name. 2 words, spell it out. Some people have it as the numeral, or whatever, or have it as 1 word, but it's 5 Steez, FIVESTEEZ, or Z. Yeah.
And maybe Sono, you could translate this a little, because like I said, my Spanish is not the best.
He's saying like catch Sono like speaking bilingual, like speaking
Oh,
English.
to English and Spanish,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. They're laughing at my English, you know. Big
That's
up,
dope.
big up, Yoru Shorty. Big up, big up, big up.
Big up
Great time. Salve.
for listening.
Abraço, meu mano.
There you go. Thank you for tuning in.
Yeah, man.
Dope, dope. And I really appreciate the two of you, coming on and speaking on K2 Day.
Yeah, man.
K2J. Yeah, yo, that's the name from now. Trust me.
Yeah.
We've educated
For real.
everybody up here. Anytime anybody asks about quiet two, that we correct them and say no, K2J.
K2J.
Yeah.
Dope, dope. Now, for all those that have been listening, we've had 5 Steez and Sono, who created a dope album that y'all should go check out. And as well as their collaboration album, go check out their solo work.
Yeah, man.
We got also The Council. And Sono, you have your crew as well.
Yeah,
if
man.
I ever get the chance to go to Brazil, I definitely want to check that out.
For real, you have a house here, brother. Anytime you come, you 5 Steez, we can have a lot of stuff here, man. We go dig records, do the shows, have nice time here, man.
Oh,
Love it.
yeah, man.
Definitely. Now, y'all can give your shout outs and let the world know where they can go and support and listen to your music.
All right, I'll kick off. Big up the council. You know what I mean? We've been talking about the council. Big up Sanique Marie. Big up Bad Effects. The God Fahim. Thiago. Jay. Everyone that been a part of the whole K2J process. You know what I mean? Everyone that contributed to that album. Everyone that listened to that album. Everyone that's listening right now or will listen in the future.
Yeah.
And go and get the album, go and listen to it. It's on every platform. You can get it on Bandcamp, 5steez.bandcamp.com. The t-shirts available as well. I'm wearing the t-shirt right now. So listen to the music, tell a friend, support it, check out the rest of the catalogs. So,
And big up everyone. You 5 said, and you can check my music in all the streamings, Spotify, YouTube. You can check our album there too. I want to have a big up for everyone that keeps supporting and that keeps the open-minded for other not only in the USA hip hop, that have the open-minded to check the Brazilian hip hop, the Jamaican hip hop, because we're trying to do a beautiful work here. And I would say in Portuguese, like valeu todo mundo, salve, aquele abraço, tamo em casa, só no TWS. Big up every time,
Great. And so I got to talk to you later on about some of your cassettes, if you have any available to purchase.
Yeah, we can trade some.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right. Definitely. And on behalf of our HHDG media crew, we're going to say peace.
Peace.
Peace out, big up.